A ground-up remake of one of gaming's greatest pirate adventures. A co-op horror experience set in a cursed jungle that had 200,000 people downloading the demo in a single week, and an anime RPG set inside the most iconic death game ever created. That is July 2026, and it is not messing around. Welcome to Chikozy Studios, the channel covering everything worth paying attention to in gaming. I'm Marco, and today we're counting down the top 5 most anticipated games of July 2026, plus some honorable mentions you absolutely should not sleep on. Let's get into it. Number 5, The Mermaid Mask from SFB Games. If you know SFB Games, you know they made Tangled Tower, and you know they made Crow Country. Both exceptional. The Mermaid Mask is their next Detective Grimoire mystery, and this time, Detective Grimoire and his partner Sally are summoned to the world's strangest submarine, the Mortuga, to investigate an impossible locked room murder. The captain, Magnus Mortuga, rumoured to be everything from a time traveller to a vampire, has been found dead in a room locked from the inside. No weapon inside, just a single wound and an ancient barnacle-covered cauldron in the corner. The game is fully hand-animated, fully voice-acted.
Dead. Killed, looks like.
Yeah, that sounds like a murder.
The clues are now rendered as interactive 3D objects you can physically examine and rotate, and the writing is this perfect balance of dark and genuinely funny. The level of craft on display here is remarkable for an indie title. If you have any love for mystery games, point and clicks, or just incredibly well-made stories, do not sleep on The Mermaid Mask. July 16th.
Would that be such a crime?
No, murder's a crime though, pretty sure.
At number 4, we've got something I think is going to be genuinely surprising to some people. The Mound, Omen of Cthulhu, developed by Ace Team and published by Nacon. This is a co-op survival horror game for up to 4 players, inspired directly by H.P. Lovecraft's work. And the premise is incredible. You're a crew of conquistador-era explorers sailing into a cursed jungle on contract. Find treasure, find a missing person, get out alive. And from the moment you set foot on that shore, everything starts going wrong. What makes this one genuinely special is the sanity mechanic. The deeper you go into the jungle, the more your mind starts to break down. You start seeing things that aren't there. A chest of gold might actually be a spike pit. A teammate might appear as an enemy. The game is actively trying to make you disrupt your senses and each other. You can accidentally attack your own squad because the Magnus took over. Combat should be last resort. The atmosphere is genuinely oppressive, and after 200,000 people played the demo during the Steam Next Fest and over 600,000 people wishlisted it, this thing is serious momentum going into launch. If you've got a squad and you want something terrifying and chaotic, The Mound is it. July 15th. Is the one that's been 25 years in the making. Coming in at number 3, Halo Campaign Evolved. This is a full ground-up remake of the original Halo Combat Evolved, built in Unreal Engine 5 by Halo Studios. And I want to be clear, this is not a remaster, not a graphical touch-up. They rebuilt it from scratch. New cinematics, re-recorded voice performances from Steve Downs and Jen Taylor, Master Chief and Cortana, completely revamped audio and sound design, expanded enemy types including flood forms from Halo 3, and a brand new expanded arsenal with weapons from across the entire Halo universe, making their first appearance in Combat Evolved. For the first time ever, you can also hijack enemy vehicles, including a fully drivable Wraith tank. And then there's Operation Meteorite, a brand new 3-mission story arc set a year before the events of the original game, featuring Master Chief and Sergeant Johnson going behind enemy lines on a Covenant research vessel. New content in the Halo CE remake, that's wild to even say. 4-player online co-op, cross-play, cross-progression, and it's day 1 on Game Pass. July 28th. This is going to be massive. At number 2, Echoes of Aincrad, brand new Sword Art Online action RPG from Bandai Namco and Gabe Studio Inc. Now I know what some of you are thinking. SAO games have been hit or miss. Mostly miss, and that's fair. But this one feels genuinely different. You're creating your own custom hero, diving into the iconic floating castle of Aincrad in what is shaping up to be a brutal, punishing action RPG with real stakes. There's even a death game mode where if you die, your save gets permanently deleted. You're teaming up with classic SAO characters like Kirito, Asuna, and a bunch of familiar faces. But the real backbone of the story is the game's own original NPCs. These aren't filler characters, they're driving entire quest lines. They've got their own arcs, their own motivations, and honestly, some of them hit harder emotionally than half the anime cast ever did. If you're a fan of the anime, this is the same SAO fans have been waiting for. And if you're not, it's still a stylish action RPG set inside a death game, and that pitch alone should be enough. Echoes of Aincrad launches July 10th on PS5, Xbox Series X and iOS, and PC. Before we get to number 1, let's run through the honorable mentions. Games that just sat outside the top 5 but are absolutely worth your attention. Call of Duty, Black Ops 1, and Black Ops 2. PlayStation 5 ports. Treyarch and Iron Galaxy confirmed both coming to PS4 and PS5 in July. First-time PlayStation players have had native access to these since the PS3 era. Straight ports, no remastered treatment, but full campaign, multiplayer, and zombies included. Moss, the Forgotten Relic. The beloved VR puzzle adventure series finally arrives on flat screens. Full Quill Saga, no headset required, with new cutscenes and smart follow camera, and all the Twilight Garden DLC included. Moss, the Forgotten Relic, launching July 16th. Doom: The Dark Ages Revelations DLC. The Dark Ages expansion Revelations drops July 7th. New campaign, new weapon, the Chain Spear, new demons, deeper puzzle design, and mysterious new ally for the Slayer. Picks up right where the base game left off, and ID Software themselves are calling it basically a sequel. Avatar Legends: The Fighting Game. The Avatar universe finally gets the fighting game it deserves. Developed by Gameplay Group and published by PM Studios, this is a hand-drawn 2D fighter, pulling characters from both Avatar and Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra, Aang, Korra, Zuko, Azula, Toph, Zahir, and more across a 12-character launch roster. Full crossplay and original story mode, this is a serious fighting game built with genuine care for the franchise. And the number 1 most anticipated game of July 2026, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. This is a full ground-up remake of one of the greatest Assassin's Creed games ever made. Rebuilt by Ubisoft Singapore using the latest Anvil engine, same technology behind Assassin's Creed Shadows. The Caribbean is back. Edward Kenway is back. The Jackdaw is back. And it looks stunning. Ray Trace global illumination, micro polygon rendering, dynamic weather systems, fully reworked water simulation. The world they've built is going to be something else. But it isn't just a visual upgrade. The combat has been completely revamped with a parry-driven system similar to Shadows. Parkour flows more naturally than ever. For the first time in Black Flag, you can hijack enemy vehicles. 3 new officers join the Jackdaw, each with unique abilities and origin missions. The original voice cast is back, including Matt Ryan returning as Edward Kenway to record new scenes, and lead writer Darby McDevitt, who wrote the original, returned specifically to write new scenes for Resynced. Black Flag was already a masterpiece. Resynced looks like it's going to be the definitive version of one of gaming's greatest stories. My number 1, and I don't think it's particularly close. And that is my top 5 most anticipated games of July 2026. July is absolutely delivering, and I genuinely don't know how I'm going to keep up with all these. Which one are you most excited for? Drop it in the comments. I want to know if you're going to be Team Black Flag, Team Halo, or if the Mound already has you and your squad planning sessions. And if you made it this far, comment your most anticipated game releasing this month. I read every one. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.